welcome to Live in the Solution. I'm Mary Trimble with your readings for November the 5th through November the 11th. Thank you guys so much. I can't believe it. 2 weeks in a row I have the most subscribers I've ever had. I am so grateful to you. Thank you. If you're new, welcome. I'm really happy that you stopped by, and I hope you come back, and I hope you really like these readings. And if you are coming back, I so appreciate your loyalty and your consistent love and appreciation and support of this channel. Thank you so much. Now, guys, there's a new moon coming up in the middle of the week, so I'm going to do individual horoscopes at the beginning of each video. This is just the intro. This is a general reading, guys. It's a collective reading. There may be a little bit of the message for you, there may be a lot of it, and it may be for somebody else. So take what resonates and just leave the rest. If nothing resonates, please come back next week, because you may have a message in there for you. You know, I channel messages from my guides. I use the tarot as a tool, and I've had some really amazing feedback. So I want to thank all my spirit guides and my angels and spirit animals for these wonderful, this wonderful blessing of being able to give these messages. I'm very appreciative. Now, what else? So if you would like a personal reading, guys, click on this right here and it'll take you to my website. You can see the kind of readings that I give. Choose one, purchase one, and then contact me and we'll make an appointment. What else? Yes, and another way to support me is through Patreon. And you can click on this for Patreon, this link here, and that will take you to my Patreon page, and you can make a one-time donation. It's just a little way of, you know, giving back if you can. If you can't, that's totally fine. Please give back by liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Without further ado, oh, and also if you want to ask a quick question, you can find me on Instant Go. All the links will be in the Show More section below. And let's go to your reading, shall we? Hello, Virgo, and welcome to your reading for November the 5th through November the 11th. And let's go to your horoscope, shall we, for next week. You may go through some emotional changes, and actually all to do with your relationship. You may be feeling a little trapped in your relationship. You may be feeling, you may give up on your, if you get into arguments, you may give up really easily just for the sake of peace, almost. It's almost like you sacrifice your own what do I want to say, values and opinions just because you can't deal with the argument, perhaps. So you just let it go. And in letting it go, you're kind of stuffing those feelings down, and you're feeling, I'm getting the feeling of suffocation on it. Now, this is just at the beginning of the week, guys. So you could find in the middle of the week, towards the middle of the week, or look, there's no timing on this. I shouldn't even give a time, but you may find yourself kind of in a, I want to say like a dream state, thinking about your childhood and your roots and your parents, or what it was like when you were a child. And you may spend a little time, you know, maybe a little too long kind of in that dreamlike state about your childhood, and it's going to kind of make you emotionally up and down. The thing is, this new moon in Scorpio is really intense. It brings up a lot of feelings, and you've got Neptune playing a part there. So it's almost, you know, in your going over your sector of your house of roots and home and the past. So you could spend a little time there. Now, then we have this wonderful benefic planet, Jupiter. And Jupiter is moving into Sagittarius. So it is feeling free and happy and home. It's going to be very uplifting. Now, it's going through your house of health and health and sickness. And listen, as I was looking at the aspects of this next week for you, I was thinking of my sister Kathleen. She's a Virgo, as you all know if you watch this channel regularly. Honestly, she has a diagnosis for every part of her body. I swear to God. I always say, you know, she's got a headache or a feeling somewhere. I said, what is that diagnosis? I can't tell you. I'm mentioning that. Kathleen, take notice. Focus on the parts of your body that do work. I know there's probably very few left for you, Kathleen. But focus on your health as opposed to what's wrong with you. Because when Jupiter moves into Sagittarius, it's about expansion, right? It's about bigger, better, more of what you're already focusing on. So do not focus on your allergies or any of your diagnoses. Focus on what's working, health habits. Focus on doing healthy things. Focus on getting healthy. You know, take small steps, because the small steps, look, it's been shown. I've just been reading this, trying to inspire myself to get into some healthy habits. Healthy habits are maintained and they have longevity when you take small little steps and you make them bigger and bigger and bigger. So, and I'm going to say this to you, my sister's really good at healthy concoctions. So you just need to take that a little bit further, Kath, okay? Healthy concoctions and exercise. So guys, focus on that. Focus on being well. Focus on health. Focus on happiness. Because things, whatever you focus on, will expand. And things will really look good for you if you keep the focus on the positive end of the spectrum. What is going right with you as opposed to what is not working. And so let's go to your card, shall we, Virgo? And the first card out for you is the Nine of Pentacles. This is wishes come true, darling. This is, look, this is opulence. This is like almost kind of there, right? Almost in the place where you've got all your needs being met and things are good, but you're almost at the finish line. Whatever you're doing, don't give up, because you're nearly there. Now, what's clarifying it is the Death card. Now, I always sigh before that because people tend to look at this in a negative way, and it's not a negative way. This means inner transformation. So it means you changing. It is time for you to change, Virgo. It's time for you to, as I say to my sister all the time, change the storyline. Change the storyline. This is you making a major change, being able to go forward differently in a really good way. This is about, look, leaving the old you with the old belief systems and the old paradigms and the old storyline behind. Leave them. And come forward, because this is death and rebirth. This is what this represents. This card is the death of the old you and the rebirth of the new you. Look, there's a little child there, you see. And the next card, darling, is the Hermit. This is about meditation. It's about learning everything you can. And, you know, I have to say that Sagittarius, you know, Jupiter's moving into Sagittarius towards the end of the week. And Sagittarius is the planet of higher learning, you know, exploration, long distance travel. It's philosophy, you know, it's about expanding your horizons, expanding your view, right? And the Hermit is about retreating from society and going into a cave with books, learning everything and coming out with a spiritual awakening. And that lantern represents the Hermit's mind. He is no longer controlled by his mind, right? He's no longer believes that he's limited, right? Kathleen, with all your diagnoses, you're limiting yourself. He's no longer controlled. See, meditation isn't about controlling your mind. It's about not allowing your mind to control you. There are thousands of guided meditations on YouTube. You know, just search guided meditations and stick with something that you like. I have one too, but stick with something that you like, something that works for you. Deepak Chopra does one every now and again. He does a 21-day guided meditation with all kinds of mantras, and they're really interesting. And he does them every month or so. So it might be worth looking up his to see if there's one. There's one going on now. You might want to catch up with that. Now, clarifying the Hermit, look, is the Eight of Swords, right? Yeah, the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords is all about feeling stuck. That's what you're... The Eight of Swords is about feeling, but it's an illusion. Swords are the intellect, right? It's how your mind works. And we can be prisoners of our own mind. And this is you being a prisoner of your own mind. You feel that you're stuck. It's almost like you're not empowered. You feel that you've lost your power somewhere along the way, and that you don't have choices in life, or you're too afraid to make choices that are liberating. But this is, look, she opened her eyes. She could just walk straight through. She believes, and she really believes that she's stuck and that she's imprisoned and she has no option and no choices. But the Hermit will set you free. That is your mind. And this is so fascinating, right? Because this is your mind controlling you. When you become the Hermit, you will no longer be controlled by this, and you won't. You know, I want to just share something. I use this analogy, but it was an actual true story for me. You know, I've lived in New York 36 years now, but when I was in London, I lived in a bedsit for years, like 5 years or something. You know, and everyone lived in bedsits. You know, they're like one room. And some of them don't even have a bathroom. You have to share the bathroom. I don't know what it's like now, but back then it was like that. So I lived in a bedsit. And then I moved into this one-bedroom apartment, luxury bedroom apartment. It wasn't that luxurious. It was above a chip shop, darling. All I could smell was chips, fish and chips. So I moved into this one bedroom. Do you know, it took me about 2 months to actually go into the bedroom and sleep in the bedroom. My mind had been restricted into one room, and it was so hard for me to actually walk into the bedroom to sleep. I ended up sleeping on the couch for about a month. It was crazy. So I say all that is because it really does restrict our minds restrict us. Be aware of that. So the next card that we have, darling, is the Ten of Pentacles. This is like, woo, abundance, darling. This is abundance. And underneath it, you've got all these mental cards, right? Underneath it, clarifying it, is the Ten of Swords. That's a feeling of being betrayed, look, he's got all those swords in his back, you know, lying down on the floor. This is, you know, being stabbed in the back, right? Now, when this card comes up, it's saying that this is, you know, listen, let go of those feelings. This is over. The pain and the torture is over for you, but it's your choice, Virgo. You can stay in that pain and that betrayal, and that is going to make you unhappy. But you've got this abundance waiting, right? When you can let go of this, because 10's an ending, right? Also, it's a beginning. Do you want this to be an ending and a beginning? No, you don't. You want to let this go. You want to move out of this because you want this. You want the abundance. You have a very clear choice here, Virgo. And the only thing that's going to hold you back is your analytical mind. And, you know, your key words are, I analyze. So it really is about stop your mind is controlling you around now, and it's controlling your emotions, it's controlling your moods, it's controlling about how you react to life in general. So you don't have to be in that suffering and that torture. You don't. You can free yourself from it. I honestly, I can't tell you how, particularly for you Virgos, that meditation would really help you. Even when you're doing something creative, you know how calming that is for you when you're doing something creative. I see it in my sister. She's extremely creative. And when she's doing something creative, she's calm. She's just focusing on that. So she doesn't have to be running through her mind all the other scenarios, thinking of everyone's problems and trying to solve them. Because that's what Virgos do. They want to help the world. They want to solve everyone's problems. Guess what? That takes a toll on you. It takes a toll on you physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Give yourself a break, Virgo. Try. Look, if you don't know how to meditate, get a meditation class. But honestly, it's just as good to get a guided meditation on YouTube. Virgos, listen, I really love you guys. You are consistently high viewers. I get so many views from you guys. I'm so grateful to you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like this video, share it on your social media so we can get it out there a bit more. And that really helps me. And comment. I love comments and feedback. And I always respond when required. And sometimes even when it's not required, I respond. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. Mwah! I love you all. And I'll see you next week.